What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be reviewing this $25 jersey I ordered from China. Let's take a look. Okay, just to get it out of the way, if you're just here to know whether or not this jersey is nice enough to order directly from China, I would say yes. If I had to give it a letter grade, I would give it a solid B to B+. The materials that they use are great. The jersey feel is great. It's light. It looks good while you're wearing it, and it will definitely pass as a regular jersey. So if you want one, if you don't want to spend the money on a real jersey, go out and get one. These are really nice. There is some issues with the jersey, which we're going to go over in a second while we compare it to the authentic jersey. But if you guys are looking for a jersey for a good price, like I said, it was 25 bucks plus shipping. It comes out to like a little less than $40. They are coming from China, so it takes a couple weeks to come in. I'll put a link down in the description below. So you guys want to order one, you can order one. I order these jerseys all the time. You know, if you want a new jersey, if you want a color that you don't own, a player that you don't own, and you don't feel like spending the $235, 238 bucks, or if you just can't afford to do it and you want a nice jersey, this is a great alternative for you instead of forking out the money to MLB. Trust me, they won't miss it. So let's compare this guy to the authentic one and see what we got. All right, so I got a list here. That I made so we can compare back and forth kind of the major features. If you guys want to check out the last video that I did, I'll put a link up here somewhere on the review of the authentic jersey. I go over all the features and the materials of the jersey, and I give you a closer look at that. Now we're going to compare this $25 the fake jersey to the authentic one. So first off, let's take a look at the patches. So both jerseys have patches on them. As you can see, the big difference between the jersey that came from China, this guy here, the brown one, it does have an arm patch, and it's actually identical to the one on the authentic jersey. The only big difference is the one on the authentic jersey is an actual it's a sewn patch that's sewn on to the jersey itself. So if you look at the inside of the jersey, you can see that it's just a patch that's sewn on. The jersey from China, it has a really nice patch, but what they did was they took a piece of fabric and they sewed the logo directly onto the jersey itself, so it's not actually a patch. Let me get you a shot of the inside there. There you go. So between the two, they're identical looking, really. The authentic one's just a little bit sharper image-wise, and it's got a little bit more texture to the yellow. I'll get you guys some close-ups of that patch. So between the two, like I said, it's definitely a passable fake. It's not a patch, so you can see that it's sewn to the jersey. It's not, you know, the patch that's sewn to the jersey, it's a little bit crisper on the outsides because it's an actual patch and they just tackle twilled it onto the shirt. So, but for comparison purposes, they're basically identical. If you were walking down the street with this and somebody saw that patch on your arm, unless they were to like grab your arm to inspect it, they would never know the difference. So it's a really good replica. The next one is the fabric itself. So as we said in the previous video, the authentic jersey uses a micro mesh. It's a stretchy micro mesh. I know you can't see it. I'll get pictures up here on the screen so you can compare the two. The replica jersey, it uses almost the same micro mesh. So if you compare them side by side, you can see the fabric that runs in between the mesh holes on the imitation jersey, and it doesn't stretch at all. It's got a little bit of pull like a t-shirt does, but it's basically a sturdy material. It's nice and light. It's breathable. It is a light mesh fabric. They did a really good job matching the fabrics, but they're not the same. You can definitely tell a difference. Visually, you would never know. If you were to walk by somebody with this jersey in the street, you would never see a difference. But like I said, the knockoff jersey is really, really well made. It's this guy here, the sand color. It's a really well-made jersey. The fabric that they use for the numbers and letters is a little bit different as well. I don't know if you can see, I'll put some pictures up on the screen, but the numbers on the Authentic jersey have a little bit of a reflection to them. They have a little bit of a sheen when the light hits them. The knockoff jersey does not. It's just a flat, it's a flat color material. The material itself is a little bit different. It's really, really, really close, but it has no stretch to it. It's completely solid, and it's close. It looks good. So I wouldn't worry about, it's not something that you would just spot on the street and be like, hey, that dude's wearing not a real jersey, he's wearing a fake. They would never know. Onto the numbers and letters themselves. The numbers and letters are interesting. Like I said, the fabric that they use, it imitates the Authentic fabric really well. It doesn't stretch and it doesn't have that reflective quality to it, but it looks really good and it holds its structure. The only thing that I found that's really different is the actual stitching of the numbers and letters. So I don't know if you guys can see this. Like I said, I'll put up some close-ups, but on the letters, you can see that it's a double layer material. So you have a layer of yellow fabric, a layer of brown fabric, and then each fabric has its own tackle twill stitching on it. The Authentic jersey, believe it or not, doesn't have a double layer tackle twill. It's a single layer. So here on the Authentic jersey, you have the brown layer, you have a yellow outline and a yellow stitch, but no brown. So side by side, put a side-by-side comparison up too so you can see them. I know it's hard with the camera, but the letters themselves are different. So if you were to put one next to the other, what I would say is that the letters on the knockoff jersey, they're more like the they're more like the Reebok NFL uniforms that have the 2-layer color stitching. So it's incorrect for the uniform, but it looks really nice. And nobody would really be able to tell, honestly. I wouldn't worry too much about it. But this video is to show you the differences between the two, so we're going to point them out. Sticking with the letters and numbers, on the front of the jerseys, what you'll notice is the knockoff jersey. So this one is the San Diego. The letters themselves are actually a little small. I measured them out, and the letters on the knockoff jerseys, they're actually smaller than the authentic one. So I don't know if you guys can see it on the camera, but here's this image, the replica jersey, and then there's the Padres on the Padres home jersey, the authentic jersey, and the letters are actually bigger. The biggest really downfall that I found to the replica jersey, the one thing that somebody might, well, there's two things that somebody might notice out on the street. Just because when you're outside wearing a jersey like this and you walk by, one of the safety features, or one of the features that Nike puts on all their MLB jerseys, is the reflective back patch. So the MLB batter, you see there in the light how it reflects. On the knockoff jersey, the replica, they came really, really close. It's a rubberized MLB logo. The only difference is it doesn't have the metallic reflectiveness. You can still see the light on there because it's rubber, it's painted rubber. But if you compare the two, I'll put a side-by-side comparison up there. It just doesn't hold up. So if you were to see somebody walk by on the street, and I don't know why you would do this because it doesn't really matter, but if you were to walk by and see somebody with the jersey on and you saw that little MLB logo, you could tell if it wasn't real or not. Some people don't care. I really don't care. I'm going to wear this jersey to a game. I'm going to wear it out to the mall. I could care less if people know that it's real or not. It's all about supporting my team. So I'm one of those guys. You know, I have tons of knockoff jerseys out in the closet, but I also have the authentic ones too because I like to support the team. So it's all about if you have the money to spend or not, you know. I'd rather you guys pay your rent and buy one of these jerseys than not pay your rent and end up with a nicer jersey. It just doesn't make sense. But so the second thing that somebody might notice is on the front, the Nike logo. So the big difference between these, it's just like the patch. On the knockoff jersey, it's not actually a patch. So as you can see, shape is right, looks right, but it's just a sewn, it's just thread sewn onto the shirt in the shape of a Nike logo. On the authentic one, the reason that the Nike logo looks so clean is because this is an actual patch, and it's just a patch sewn on to the jersey. I'll put some pictures up of that as well so you can see it. You can see a pretty big difference. One major feature that I noticed that this jersey does not have that the authentic one does is this paneling. So it's got breathable mesh panel here under the armpits, on the butt. The replica jerseys do not have it at all. So that's just a major feature that you're going to miss. These replica jerseys are marketed as authentic jerseys. So comparing them back and forth, if we're going to be fair, the replica jersey, it's got the same features as a non-authentic jersey. So if you go to MLBshop.com, there's one rank lower than authentic that looks just like this jersey minus the arm patch. The authentic ones have the arm patch, and then they have the paneling on the butt area and under the armpits for ventilation from where the players are on the field. So for fairness on comparison purposes here, that is one major feature that this replica jersey does not have. All in all, this replica jersey is fire. I love it. I think it's great. They matched, my bad. They matched all the colors well. It looks good. It looks good when it's on. So if you're in the market for a jersey, you don't feel like spending the money, buy a knockoff jersey. I ain't mad at you. This video was made just to educate you guys so you guys can see the differences in them. I'll put a link down in the description below. So if you want one of these, the jerseys, you order them from China. They're 25 bucks plus shipping. Like I said, it comes out to less than $40 and you get yourself a real nice shirt. You want to give yourself a couple weeks for shipping. So if you guys are planning on going to a game and you need a jersey, make sure you plan accordingly. Don't order it the night before and expect it to show up, because it's got to get through customs. So I'll put the link in the description below. That's pretty much it for today, guys. If you liked the video, make sure you sub to the channel. It really helps us out. Make sure you give this a thumbs up if you like the content. It helps the algorithm suggest us to other people. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.